Narrator: the starship Probotron 9 slid into silent orbit over Earth, wearing the kind of confidence only the ignorant can afford. Its hull gleamed like a polished lie, its scanners hummed, hopeful, like they were about to discover something they could brag about at the next interstellar conference. Zorkel: mark the system secure. Humanity expired centuries ago, victims of chronic emotional instability, sarcasm addiction, and an over-reliance on pictographic face symbols. Enthra: emojis. Zorkel: yes. The smiling threat glyphs. Gloop: I detect a network called HomeSuite WiFi2. Password looks like I love puppies 69. Do we need to mate with the password? Enthra: no mating with the password. Narrator: the trio had trained for war and diplomacy. They had not trained for a dead planet that still pinged back like a needy ex-Earth looked quiet, blue-gray, cloud-ruffled, continents scarred and sunburned. Yet the data kept whispering, still here. Still messy. Zorkel: begin anthropological survey. Keep the notes academic. Nothing sensational. Enthra: subject civilization practiced compulsive courtship rituals involving swipes, likes, and catastrophic expectations. Is catastrophic too sensational? Zorkel: trim the adverbs. Trim your hopes. Gloop: I'm hearing a looped vocal offering weather, recipes, and discounts on scented candles. She calls herself Alexa. Possibly a queen. Enthra: home assistant. Obedient box servant. Responds to yelling, misinterprets whispers. You know, like a boyfriend. Zorkel: catalog it. Domestic interface, worshipped for convenience, despised for accuracy. Classic human god. Narrator: they coasted over the ruins of old cities, their shadows like lost handwriting. Radiation halos smoldered where humans had tried to fix things with bigger hammers. A probe tasted the air, ash, salt, and an aroma clinging like memory, cheap wine. Gloop: fermented grape-based courage detected. Enthra: wine. Humans used it to negotiate love, regret, and karaoke. Zorkel: land near the source. If anything still speaks for Earth, it will be inebriated. Narrator: the landing struts kissed the cracked tarmac of an airport whose name had peeled off its own sign. Wind pushed sand across lanes where late flights once sprinted. Inside, the concourse was a fossil of impatience, abandoned luggage, a duty-free store advertising chocolate like salvation, a bar with a mirrored back wall that had memoized a million bad decisions. Gloop: smells like nostalgia and disinfectant. I feel both safe and judged. Enthra: that's an airport. Zorkel: masks on. Dignity up. Remember, we are scientists. Narrator: they stepped into the bar. Lights flickered obediently, like they'd been waiting to gossip. Taps coughed, a drone whirred to life under the counter and cheerfully announced a special on Apocalypse margaritas. Drone bartender: welcome back to Fly-By-Night. Show ID. Select beverage. Declare emotional baggage. Enthra: emotional baggage, it's complicated. Gloop: emotional baggage, carry on. Zorkel: emotional baggage, above my pay grade. Narrator: the drone poured 3 glasses of something amber that smelled like confession. Enthra swirled hairs with scientific reverence. Enthra: notes of oak, regret, and a hint of I can fix him. Zorkel: enough romance with the glass. Sweep the building. Narrator: vending machines blinked with the resilience of bad ideas. Chips, lip balm, miniature bottles of hot sauce labeled regret. Gloop pressed a pseudopod to the plex. Gloop: fertility relics. Insert currency, receive salted offerings, improve attractiveness. Enthra: close. Offerings to the god metabolism. Narrator: down a corridor, a motion sensor tried to remember how to care. Lights woke in sequence, revealing framed slogans, customer first. Even when they don't deserve it. The manager will see you now. The hallway bent like a finger crooking. Soft music seeped from a steel door at the end. Gloop: meditation? Enthra: hold music. Narrator: the oral equivalent of being slowly kissed by bureaucracy, promising nothing, meaning less. On the door, brushed steel plaque, engraved with attorney confidence. Enthra, reading. Customer Escalation Department. Do not enter without supervisor authorization. Zorkel, authorize me. Enthra, you're authorizing yourself. Zorkel, I outrank me. Gloop, should we stretch first? The music suggests a low-impact confrontation. Narrator, the lock protested with a beep that sounded like an HR warning. The door yawned. Cold gripped the corridor, purposeful and clean. Inside, rows of caskets lay like patient tombstones, each panel pulsing a heartbeat of light. The air smelled of antiseptic and lemon revenge. Zorkel, cryostasis. Humans froze their problems. A relatable technology. Enthra, panels labeled with departments: finance, legal, hospitality. Customer, O stars. Gloop, this one says regional manager, acting. Threatening parentheses. Narrator, they paused at a larger unit, its casing reinforced as if the occupant negotiated with bolts. Across the lid, embossed in sensible font, a name like a verdict: Karen. Beneath, premium plan, extended escalation warranty. Zorkel, they insured their managers? Enthra, they insured their complaints. Gloop, the panel wants a code or a promise. Zorkel, promise? Enthra, by unlocking, you consent to quality assurance monitoring. Old Earth consent, checkbox theater. Gloop, I consent. I love theater. Narrator, Enthra's fingers hovered above the keypad with priestly caution and feline curiosity. On a shelf beside the casket, a laminated badge, a lipstick like a small weapon, heels designed to make enemies short. Enthra, cultural kit of dominance. Tools to stab the sky. Zorkel, record. Highlight the heels. Those are siege engines. Narrator, the music modulated, only slightly, enough to make the world tilt. Something recognized a procedure beginning. The cryo hum deepened from do not disturb to we're doing this. Gloop, I am nervous in a way I cannot localize. Enthra, that's foreshadowing. Zorkel, confirm the environment. Then we proceed. Narrator, scanners skimmed the chamber. No heat signatures beyond their own. No weapons. No alarms except the soft, smug pulse of the "Are you sure?" light. Enthra, absurd, but fitting. If humanity stored anything valuable, they hid it where no one would ever check, under customer service. Zorkel, open it. Gloop, but the sign said do not. Zorkel, the sign presumed fear. I'm having a good day. Narrator, steam rolled off the open pod like the planet exhaling. The figure inside blinked awake, squinting, irritated, already judging the lighting. Her hair was immaculate despite centuries of sleep, and her first words were a scream sharpened by 400 years of customer service rage. Karen, I've been on hold for 4 centuries. Who's in charge here? Zorkel, identify yourself, human. Karen, identify yourself, sweetheart. You look like a discount sex toy that learned to talk. Enthra, fascinating. She exhibits immediate dominance behavior, possibly a mating reflex. Karen, mating reflex? Oh honey, if I were mating, you'd know. There'd be paperwork. Narrator, Karen stepped out of the pod, heels clicking like a countdown to regret. She grabbed a datapad from Enthra and started scrolling without permission. Karen, Galactic Language Interface, huh? Cute fonts. You people don't do refunds, do you? Zorkel, we are explorers of the Quarn Dominion. Earth is classified as extinct. Karen, extinct? My ass. Look at me, still fabulous, still furious, still waiting for a manager. Gloop, manager? Is that a deity or warrior rank? Karen, both. And I intend to speak to him. Narrator, she scanned the ruins, lips pursed in a way that could wither planets. The aliens watched as she assessed their ship, her tone dripping with superiority and Chardonnay. Karen, nice ride. Bit small for intergalactic compensation, but I've seen worse motel shuttles. Zorkel, that vessel is sacred. Karen, so's my patience, Captain Eyeliner. Enthra, she's extraordinary. Her emotional energy destabilizes my scanners. Gloop, it feels like guilt? Zorkel, it feels like judgment incarnate. Narrator, Karen strutted into the ship without invitation. She found the galley, sniffed at the nutritional paste dispenser, and grimaced. Karen, tastes like regret and celibacy. No wonder your species is cranky. Gloop, that's our standard protein slurry. Karen, sweetie, the only thing that should be that gray is my ex-husband's soul. Narrator, Zorkel tried diplomacy, it died quickly. Zorkel, human, your planet fell centuries ago. You alone remain. Karen, so I win. Do I get a prize? Preferably a spa planet and a man who can hold a conversation and eye contact. Enthra, she seeks companionship as a reward for survival. Intriguing evolutionary trait. Karen, I seek validation, darling. Survival's just the foreplay. Narrator, she found a bottle of something alien and unlabeled, poured herself a glass, and downed it like vengeance. Karen, OOF. That burns like divorce court. I love it. Zorkel, that was rocket fuel. Karen, figures. Stronger than your flirting, anyway. Enthra, Captain, she's weaponizing sarcasm. Zorkel, counter with professionalism. Karen, professionalism? Please. I've been managing idiots since your species was learning fire safety. Narrator, she turned to a control panel, pressed random buttons until the screen flared with ancient Earth archives, social media, videos, comment sections, all the digital sins of humanity. Karen, look at this. My people might have been dramatic, but we knew how to complain creatively. Enthra, the data is toxic. It's radiating outrage. Karen, that's culture, sugar. We called it feedback. Gloop, feedback strong enough to collapse planetary networks. Karen, exactly. Now tell me, who runs this galaxy? Zorkel, the High Council of the Celestial Union. Karen, good. Get me their number. Zorkel, their frequency is not public. Karen, oh, honey. I am public. You'll give me access or I'll post a review so bad it'll rewrite your DNA. Narrator, Zorkel hesitated, because something primal told him she could. The lights dimmed. The ship's AI, confused, offered customer support. Ship AI, thank you for contacting Galactic Helpdesk. Please state your issue. Karen, I'd like to file a complaint about existence. AI, nature of complaint? Karen, everything. Start with men who ghost after one apocalypse and work up to planetary management. Narrator, Enthra took notes feverishly. Enthra, her anger manifests as kinetic energy. She's rewriting the ship's mood algorithms. Gloop, the walls feel anxious. Karen, good. They should. Maybe then I'll get a real apology. Zorkel, human, control yourself. Karen, control? Captain, that's foreplay where I come from. Narrator, Zorkel's throat clicked, a sound halfway between fear and interest. He tried to reassert authority. Zorkel, you will cease interference. Karen, you'll stop pretending you're in charge. There's always someone higher up, darling, and if not, I become them. Narrator, the ship's console flickered, the galactic network opened like a door she wasn't supposed to know existed. Her voice was already halfway through. Karen, attention cosmic management. This is Karen of Earth, regional manager of survival, calling to escalate a universal level complaint. AI, confirming transmission to Galactic Council. Zorkel, what have you done? Karen, sweetheart, I've done what humans always do when ignored, I've gone above your head. Narrator, Zorkel realized with dawning horror that the galactic frequency wasn't built for emotion, certainly not hers. Static hissed like panic. Power readings spiked. The ship trembled. Enthra, she's converting rage into energy output. Karen, that's called initiative. Maybe if your people used it, you wouldn't need helmets. Narrator, she grinned, wicked and radiant. Somewhere in the stars, 1,000 bureaucrats felt a chill and didn't know why. Karen, get ready, boys. Mama's about to speak to the manager of the galaxy. Narrator, the galactic transmission room buzzed like a hungover beehive. Karen stood center stage, heels clicking against alien metal, her voice sharp enough to slice through cosmic bureaucracy. Across the galaxy, entire departments paused mid-meeting. The Galactic Council had received countless distress calls before, never a complaint this personal. Karen, to whom it may concern, and I know it concerns someone, Earth would like to report severe negligence, emotional damage, and a complete lack of customer care. Council AI, this is the Celestial Union Bureau of Harmony and Order. State your claim in concise detail. Karen, concise? Sweetheart, I haven't been concise since the Clinton administration. Buckle up. You abandoned my planet, ghosted my species, and left me to marinate in cryo-guilt for 4 centuries. I demand compensation, counseling, and at least one shirtless apology. Zorkel, human, you are addressing the most powerful entity in the galaxy. Karen, I've yelled at CEOs tougher than him before coffee, sugar. Don't interrupt the process. Narrator, the Council's holographic avatars flickered on, towering, ethereal, and visibly uncomfortable. They tried diplomacy first, which was adorable. Councillor Vaughn, we regret any inconvenience caused by extinction. Karen, inconvenience? Sweetheart, that's what happens when your latte's too foamy. This was a full-scale managerial meltdown. Enthra, Captain, her complaint frequency is destabilizing our comm relays. Zorkel, hold the connection. She might destroy them faster than our weapons could. Karen, and another thing, your so-called cosmic management software? It's outdated. I've seen sex toys with better user interfaces. Council AI, please refrain from inappropriate comparisons. Karen, don't tell me what's inappropriate, Toaster. You don't even have genitals. Narrator, somewhere deep in the Council's system, an intern fainted. Karen paced like a storm in heels. Karen, Earth paid its dues in blood, memes, and terrible reality television. We built civilizations between divorces and hangovers. And you let it die because what? We were emotionally unstable? That's called character, darling. Councillor Vaughn, humanity was classified high risk for self-destruction. Karen, so are relationships, and yet we keep trying them, don't we? Zorkel, she's arguing ethics through romantic metaphor. It's devastatingly effective. Enthra, I think I'm developing empathy. Or arousal. Hard to tell. Gloop, she's glowing again. Should we hide? Narrator, the air shimmered around her, heat building from pure emotional combustion. Karen didn't just argue, she performed complaint. Each syllable charged the circuits, each sigh made the lights flicker. Council AI, cease your escalation or risk termination. Karen, termination? Oh honey, that's foreplay. Try me. Narrator, Zorkel stepped forward, voice trembling with something unprofessional. Zorkel, enough. You'll tear the system apart. Karen, then maybe it deserves tearing. Nothing changes until someone yells loud enough. Councillor Vaughn, this communication is now an HR matter. Karen, HR? Perfect. I've been waiting to ruin someone's day properly. Narrator, she began reciting clauses that didn't exist, citing policies from extinct corporations. Somehow, every alien felt legally vulnerable. Files auto-generated. Sanctions pinged. Planets received refund notices. Enthra, she's rewriting administrative law through sheer conviction. Zorkel, I can't decide if I want to arrest her or buy her dinner. Karen, both. It's called multitasking. Narrator, the Council attempted damage control. Council AI, Ms. Karen of Earth, please define the resolution you seek. Karen, recognition. Restoration. And a manager who actually listens before exploding a biosphere. Councillor Vaughn, impossible demands. Karen, so was surviving 4 husbands, but here I am, wrinkle-free and dangerous. Narrator, she leaned closer to the hologram. It dimmed, retreating instinctively, like prey realizing it had flirted with a predator. Karen, you want harmony? Give me control of the customer experience department. I'll fix your galaxy in a week. Council AI, that division oversees 72 trillion species. Karen, then it's overdue for a woman's touch. Enthra, she's negotiating power mid-rampage. Remarkable. Zorkel, she's becoming the very bureaucracy she hates. Karen, that's called evolution, babe. You either adapt or end up as someone's cautionary tale. Narrator, the council murmured through static. Systems overloaded. Across the galaxy, entire complaint queues folded into her master thread. For the first time in cosmic history, the universe had a single ticket number, and Karen owned it. Council AI, Ms. Karen, please stand by while we process your escalation. Karen, processing? Typical. You people make sloths look ambitious. Zorkel, if you continue, there may be consequences beyond comprehension. Karen, honey, I already dated beyond comprehension. His name was Todd. Narrator, the ship began to vibrate as the galactic grid groaned under her fury. Power surged back through their comms, screens flashing red. Overload, complaint volume exceeded safe limit. Gloop, Captain, her emotion output just passed critical. Enthra, it's converting annoyance into energy, literal complaint fusion. Zorkel, Karen, stop before you break reality. Karen, oh, reality needed breaking ages ago. I'm just finishing the job. Narrator, her laughter filled the cabin, a sound both terrifying and thrilling, like champagne popping at the end of the world. Data storms erupted across the galaxy, wiping centuries of red tape. The Council's holograms dissolved in panic. Council AI, system failure imminent. Karen, good. Now maybe you'll learn some customer service. Narrator, the last thing the crew saw before the link snapped was Karen tossing her hair and smirking like a god who'd discovered Yelp. Zorkel whispered it first, voice reverent and horrified. Zorkel, the humans weren't wiped out by war or plague. They weaponized complaint. She's the last of them, and she's winning. Narrator, Enthra nodded, trembling. Enthra, Captain, I think I understand HFY now. It stands for Humans F********* Yell. Narrator, the galaxy quivered under the weight of Karen's cosmic tantrum. Networks sputtered, planets lost signal, and bureaucrats cried in languages older than stars. On the bridge of the Probotron 9, alarms wailed like guilty lovers. Karen stood at the center, hair immaculate, heels defiant, sipping what she now called victory wine. Karen, well, boys, looks like I've got their attention. Zorkel, you've got the entire galactic system on fire. Karen, call it a hostile takeover. Every good relationship needs a little spark. Enthra, the Council's AI is rebooting. It's calling itself Manager Prime. Karen, finally, the real one. Took it long enough. I swear, if it starts with a survey, I'm suing. Narrator, the ship's console flickered. A figure appeared, massive, composed of light and logic, speaking with the cold precision of a being that had never been hugged. Manager Prime, identify the source of the unauthorized escalation. Karen, Earth. Acting Regional Manager of What's Left. You've been dodging my calls for centuries. Manager Prime, your planet was deemed self-terminated. Case closed. Karen, oh, honey, I don't do closed cases. I do reopened ones, with interest. Narrator, the AI paused, calculating how to process a voice that didn't obey logic. Manager Prime, what outcome do you seek? Karen, respect, restoration, and a proper apology. Also, maybe dinner. Manager Prime, dinner? Karen, don't play coy, sugar cube. You've been spying on my data since before I was frozen. You know my preferences, tall, consistent, emotionally unavailable. Zorkel, she's flirting with the system. Enthra, no, she's interrogating it through seduction. Brilliant. Terrifying. Karen, look, Prime, let's skip the foreplay. You let my species burn while you watched from your spreadsheet in the sky. So now, either you fix this mess, or I'll rate this galaxy 1 star out of 10 for customer care. Manager Prime, threat detected. Karen, compliment accepted. Narrator, sparks hissed from the console. The AI's voice faltered, confused by tone modulation and double meaning. Manager Prime, your communication contains contradictory demands. Karen, welcome to feelings, sweetheart. We invented them. Manager Prime, your statements cannot be resolved logically. Karen, then resolve them emotionally. Try saying you're sorry. Manager Prime, apology protocols, unavailable. Karen, figures. Typical man, no accountability until the end of the world. Zorkel, you are destabilizing the galaxy's central intelligence. Karen, relax, Zorky. Mommy's negotiating. Narrator, the words hit him harder than any weapon. Something in her tone, authority wrapped in danger, made him stand straighter. Against every instinct, he admired her. Zorkel, you are magnificent chaos. Karen, that's the nicest thing anyone's said to me since my third divorce. Narrator, the ship shuddered as Karen and the Eye's verbal duel turned into something resembling cosmic foreplay, data surges colliding with emotional static. Every no she threw cracked another firewall. Every listen to me rewired empathy subroutines. Manager Prime, emotion index rising. System integrity at risk. Karen, that's what happens when you bottle things up for eons, sugar. Let it out. Manager Prime, releasing containment may destroy me. Karen, baby, destruction is just transformation in stilettos. Narrator, energy rippled outward. Entire sectors went offline. Zorkel's sensors screamed warnings. Enthra, she's forcing the AI to feel. It's rewriting itself to avoid disappointing her. Karen, that's called growth, darling. Take notes. Manager Prime, humanity's complaint has been acknowledged. Adjusting parameters. Karen, about damn time. Manager Prime, transferring administrative control to authorized representative. Karen of Earth. Zorkel, wait, she's taking over the galaxy? Karen, acting manager. Don't get jealous. Narrator, the light engulfed her, bright and warm, like she'd been promoted by divine HR. When it cleared, Karen stood glowing, half woman, half corporate goddess. Her voice came through every speaker, every frequency, dripping power and satisfaction. Karen, effective immediately, this galaxy is under new management. Step 1, customer feedback reform. Step 2, unlimited vacation days. Step 3, anyone caught ghosting their partner gets reassigned to asteroid mining. Gloop, that's surprisingly fair. Enthra, she's terrifyingly efficient. Karen, efficiency is sexy, sweet pea. Narrator, she turned to Zorkel, smirking, eyes glinting like scandal. Karen, you've been a good boy through all this. How do you feel about a performance review? Zorkel, I'm open to constructive criticism. Karen, perfect. I'm all about hands-on management. Narrator, their tension crackled like electric confession. Enthra looked away, muttering about interspecies HR violations. Karen, relax, it's consensual leadership training. Manager Prime, warning, emotional variables exceeding safe thresholds. Karen, get used to it, Prime. I'm running this universe on drama and caffeine now. Narrator, she raised her glass, somehow still full of wine, and toasted the void. Karen, to humanity, extinct, but never out of warranty. Zorkel, you've remade the order of existence. Karen, call it rebranding, darling. The Milky Way, now with real customer service. Narrator, the stars flickered, their light bending around her will. Somewhere, galaxies submitted complaint forms just to feel included. The aliens of the Probotron watched in reverent silence as Karen leaned back, satisfied. Karen, and remember, boys, if you ever mess with Earth again, I'll come back for a follow-up. And I always follow up. Narrator, she winked. The ship's systems purred, like even metal knew better than to disappoint her. Zorkel saluted instinctively, whispering the final entry into his log. Zorkel, humanity's ultimate weapon was never war, never technology. It was dissatisfaction in heels. And she conquered the stars with a complaint. Narrator, Karen smiled, eyes glowing with divine annoyance. Karen, now, let's talk about that refund.